Okay, in this lesson we're going to look at the G chord. Now there are different variations of this G chord which we'll look at in a later lesson, but for now we're going to use certain fingers that will help you stretch and play this chord properly. Now if you want to be a guitar player, you have to know the G chord. You've heard it on the radio a million times. Any campfire that you've gone to, you've seen people playing the G chord. So once you know this chord, it unlocks thousands and thousands of songs that you could be playing. All right, so let's take a look at that, get a close-up. We're going to play every string. So this is how it looks. Now, we're going to highlight a few different areas there that we want to focus on. Let's start by placing your middle finger on the 3rd fret of the E string, and then your 1st finger on the 2nd fret of the A string, and then the next 3 strings are going to be open, so that means you're not going to put your finger on any frets for those strings. And then the last string, the E string, you're going to have your 3rd finger on the 3rd fret. Okay, and again, just try to find the right positioning for your wrists so that these fingers are nice and round, because there are a few problem areas with this chord. Let's highlight them now. Here, the first area is this 5th string right here, the A string. Usually your middle finger, your 2nd finger sort of is hanging over, muting that string. So let's try to make that as round as possible. Lift it up so that we're getting a nice, clean sounding A string. And then oftentimes what happens when we're learning this chord is that 1st finger likes to kind of flatten out like that and mute some of these open strings. So you definitely want to watch out for that. And then the 3rd finger here, I've seen people kind of go back like this because it's a bit of a stretch, so it just feels funny, but you definitely don't want to do that. You want to get nice and close to the fret and play it just like that. So one at a time, and then strum all 6 strings. All right, the G chord is a wonderful chord. We're going to start looking at some other variations of that in a later lesson. But for now, work on this G chord, have fun with it, and we'll see you in the next lesson.